back to the channel. Sorry that it's been a couple of days, had some health difficulties and some technical difficulties, so please forgive me for that. But we're back to our regularly scheduled programming today. We're going to be looking at Fnatic versus DRX. For two teams that play some really well-structured Valorant, there was some crazy rounds with like this real out-of-the-box thinking and these crazy strats and some amazing plays. We're going to be looking at all three maps, and we're going to look at one round from each map. Something a little bit different today, so we'll see how that goes. But let's go straight into the first one, which is round 9 on Ascent, map 1. So just to preface this round, what's really important to know is that Marco has his Viper's Pit online. And Fnatic have sort of got the read on that. They're looking towards B early. They drone out and they spot the operator there, and they go, oh, we don't really want to push into an operator. And we also don't really want to push into a Viper's Pit. So what are they going to do? They're going to go up mid. They're going to Sage Wall under tube, and DRX, they've only got the one player here. Stacks is in kitchen, and Zest is the only backline. And this is a standard Viper's Pit setup that you would see on A. You know, you put 3 players towards the site that the Viper's Pit is not on. You have one player playing mid as sort of stopping this backdoor flank, but having this like 4-man push through mid is really, really hard to stop for one person. So Zest has got his work cut out for him. Fnatic just comes running through, tries to fall back. Does so successfully. And then, so interesting note, this Viper orb was originally here in mid, and then Boaster picks it up to rethrow it down here. Now, it's not a perfect throw, it's an on-the-fly throw, so there is this gap here. But it does get them enough cover, and you can see that they've also invested this Sage and Viper util to stop any aggression coming in from DRX, which it does. RB gets held up, so he can't really push in to pincer them. He's unable to get a really hard shot there. They swing through the smoke. Great swing through from from Boaster. Definitely wouldn't have expected that. And then now we're in this really weird position because Zest has actually managed to fall back all the way onto site. Alpha Air is pushing up slowly on this lurk. It's weird having the lurk like come through the front part of site. And then we have Durka in this really ratty position on top of tube. And you can see they actually suspect that eventually. I think they must have heard him TP up there. Then Mystic plays this really, really nicely. He's just playing nice and patient behind the wall. Fnatic just try and stall out a bit. As you can see, Stacks is just pushing down. I'm not sure if Durka made noise or not, but he looks up, he finds him, and now it's back to a 3v4. But Mystic has played this really, really well. He's been sitting here with Spike this whole time. He's just been waiting and waiting and waiting. Eventually, now that they're back into a disadvantage, starts to go for a little bit of a push. He gets a great timing on Zest, and that's because he's just crept up into this really, really passive position. And now they can start to make something happen. Threatens the plant. And that causes the DRX players to rotate over. And they get the res onto RB. Now Fnatic's in a really tough position. They've sort of executed this on the fly plan. Oh, the op's there, the Viper's there. Let's try and go up through the middle, and they get themselves onto site. But they've lost 2 players in the process. One traded out and one for free. And but they get one back free, but the res puts them in an awkward position. Now they've got these 2 players on site. Alpha Air's actually managed to jump through around from Belt, gets himself to regroup with Mystic as Mystic plants. But now they're completely pinched onto site, and Enzo's got to play this timing really, really perfectly. And the patience from Fnatic comes into play so well here. Playing off of each other. Alpha Air takes contact, gets the first, and then Enzo comes in, swings from behind, perfect timing. Now they're into a 3v2 because Alpha Air won his duel. Enzo came in to prevent the trade. Really, really nice. And then Marco walls himself up to isolate the player that is still on site. And now he tries to get the plant, doesn't tuck himself quite in, and just gets spammed down in the end. But yeah, a really, really nice round from Fnatic. A great idea. I thought DRX didn't make too many mistakes, to be honest. I thought they played really quite well. But unfortunately, Fnatic just caught them off guard in the end. Okay, coming into map 2, we have Ascent round 22. Very late in the game, very close game here. Actually ends up going to overtime. What I want to note at the start of the round here, DRX prowlers out of B main here to clear any of this. And what they actually do is they push Buzz up to this really aggressive early angle, and they clear out the KJ turret. The Sova turret comes out. So they've invested 2 bits of util to get Buzz onto this nice early aggressive angle. And Fnatic is really aware of this. They go, well, why else would they be pushing out so aggressively and end up just sitting there? And so what they do, the same sort of thing, they're going to come up through mid here and do a B split here on this round. Alpha gets himself into a more favorable position against that op in case Buzz decides to peek out. He's trying to play a bit of an off angle and help get Enzo into position to re-clear it out. Second prowler comes out A main. So now that they know, in tree, sorry. So now they know that Fade's rotated over. Unlikely that the operator players playing completely by themselves. So this is probably only 2 players here. And I'm not sure if they were aware of this during the round, but so they throw a little smoke over to A, and they prowler out, and Buzz gets forced off. A great flash here from Bosa, tags both of the players from DRX. Smokes come in to stop it, and now they've got like a proper execute onto site. They close the switch. The KJ ult comes down. Now you can see that, what am I trying to say? The KJ ult actually gets placed in a very safe position, like behind the box here. And if he had gone into the corner, wouldn't have given these, you can do the ult a little bit less safely, but it allows Buzz to live in here. It actually plays a very important role. Boaster whiffs a shot onto Stacks in the back of his head. Gives away his position, but he does get RB. And then a lot of kills happen all in quick succession. Durka gets sort of the opening frag onto site. And then we have the 4 players pushing in. Buzz actually, because of the way the Alpha had done the ult, is able to live in Boathouse. And then, so he picks up Alpha Air here. And you can see all these kills in the kill feed. What that actually means is, what happens is Boaster stays lurking in market. He picks up, Marco tries to res RB. And then Boaster refrags RB, and then Marco trades out Boaster. Then Stacks kills Durka here. He gets traded out by Enzo. Okay, so now we have a 2v2. They push Buzz on site. Now they've got a 2v1, and this is one of the sickest clutches I've ever seen. Marco waits for the plant to come down. And Enzo and him miss on each other. A quick trade. He gets his util out. It's completely unsuccessful. And this is just sick. He sees the gun. I don't like the position that Fnatic are playing here. Mystic's like completely out in the open. And Enzo, as you can see, this is a mistake that they just weren't aware of, that his gun is sticking out here. So Marco lines up his head and he swings Mystic with almost perfect crosshair placement. And gets an absolutely sick clutch. Shooting Enzo through the box there was just so sick. But what I would have liked to have seen from Fnatic in this position, Enzo has Boathouse. He does show himself and you know, probably thinks, oh, I should reposition because Marco now knows where I am. The util is going to come out. I might get stunned or something like that. But I think he should have stayed here, and then Enzo should have just stayed playing behind this box. That way they can trade out. They can swing both of their entrances from site. Right? If Marco comes this way or this way, Enzo can swing out here, and Mystic can swing out from here or here and here. And so they just have the option to swing both ways. But they come play this weird, like really forward position, which I don't really like. And Marco is able to capitalize on it. very, very nicely. Let's just see it again because it's so sick. Beautiful shots. Just finds the head perfectly. So nice. All right, on to the next one. And coming into our final map and round of the day, we have round 19 on Fracture, the deciding map for the series that DRX end up taking and winning. And as you can see, it's another close game, 10-8 in round 19. We're going to start off with some towers arcade aggression from DRX, and we're also going to see a standard sort of neon push out down B main where you get the stuns down B main. Now Buzz is playing this nice little off angle here, which really punishes the neon if she gets too aggressive, but they see nothing, so they back off, they give that space. But it does sort of, because they've smoked it off, it does make it a little bit hard for DRX to push into this space and take this ground, because they don't know if someone's like walked up here and is lurking in this little area here. So they do stall off this push up B main from the two players from DRX. And so we get this execute, we get the molly to deny, and the Nightfall comes out. Althea pops his ult in response. Good opening frag from Mystic. Util galore everywhere. Great shot from Zest. And Boaster manages to just live here, which is really, really big. It just creates that chaos. It stops everyone from flooding into site. Buzz eventually gets him, and now we're in a 3v2. We've got the two players in B main for DRX, and then Stacks just gets caught. Great intuition from Enzo, I guess, to get through. He uses the Brim ult as cover to actually get past B main and get a really nice timing on Stacks here, who's not going to expect him in that position, and he retakes tower control. So now we're into another like 2v2 situation. Spike is down. It's been like an absolute util dump, and this is where the cool part of the round really starts. These late round sort of scenarios that this video's sort of been highlighting. Now Enzo just sees both of them. So Dirk has been holding this really safe position. He's got his 2 to 4, so he can hold this really super safe position, stopping the players coming out of B main. As soon as Enzo sees both, Dirk comes here to swing that. Buzz sneaks past, and then Dirk holds this really tight angle. Enzo unaware that Buzz has actually gotten up. He's actually got the spike at this point, and that's covered by Enzo's left hand, breaches left hand here. And then he goes, oh shit, it's gone. Buzz has got it. Marco's holding the angle, and then he drops 2 TPs. And he uses the chamber TP here to get across to here. Which stops Durka from being able to snipe him off. And then Enzo jiggles out, gets a little bit of damage on, but they get running. And this is such a sick play from Durka. He actually has the TP. So as they're running over, Durka uses this to his advantage, knowing that he's going to get the time advantage. Without this TP, he doesn't get there in time. So he actually gets there and he's able to get into this nice little off angle. If he plays this from main or from spawn, from the regular angle in spawn right here, I would say this is probably a bad play. Or probably it's a far less effective play because they're going to be looking at him. But you can see he gets himself into sand. And watch, they come out. Buzz drops, clearing this specifically. And then he sees the foot. And then I think the correct play here is to re-peek because you have the 2 to 4, so you have the gun advantage, and that box is spammable, right? This box right here is spammable, so you risk just getting spammed. So I think re-swinging so you don't get spammed is definitely the right call. So there you have it. Quick little one from me today. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to this point, please leave a comment at the end. Comment what your favorite round is or something like that. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. And if you want to see more, please subscribe. I'll be back with another video tomorrow. Have a good one.